It's Margaret Skype, and in this quick episode, I want to talk about what do some of the news do to the jewelry market. As you all know, there's big news in US how the TikTok is being banned, and I know it's not final, but there's all sorts of talks about it being banned and what it means. And believe it or not, as jewelers, we discuss this kind of stuff too, because a lot of the jewelry stores and a lot of my colleagues that own studios, they have marketing through TikTok. They make videos on TikTok. They have others who make videos on TikTok with their products. So it is alarming in any case. And actually, any social media platform will have an effect globally on every other industry. For example, Instagram. A lot of the clients that I know, a lot of my colleagues rely on Instagram. For example, as a client, you rely on Instagram for photos, for getting to know the company, for getting to know their collections through videos. And the same thing goes for all the colleagues that I work with and all the other jewelry stores, because a lot of them put their collections on and have some promotions going on that they announce on social media, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's TikTok. So all these news always have an effect to all of us. Is it going to be massive? Well, if the TikTok is going to be banned, it won't be too massive because most jewelry stores have multiple social medias that they promote their products in. It can be Instagram and TikTok. So banning TikTok will not have a huge effect on us as jewelers or in the jewelry industry in general, but it still would, because there are some really good colleagues of mine who sell jewelry online who primarily use TikTok as their promo. And so of course for them, they would have to find a new platform, get new followers, and it is a bit of a headache, especially if you have an established name or have put a lot of work into it. So of course in general it will have a lot. Now let's talk about in general, does social media have an impact on collections, for example? And the short answer is yes. So back about 5 or 6 years ago, when the salt and pepper diamonds were just thriving, at least in Canada, because back then we were mostly in Canada, the social media is what really brought it up, because not a lot of people know salt and pepper diamonds, I want to say, or are into them, because that was not a thing. It was high quality diamonds that were not very popular. But there were some very famous TikTokers at the time and some famous, I want to say, actresses. I don't remember what the names were, but I remember there was a couple of them that have posted salt and pepper diamonds in their collections, or famous influencers that have posted salt and pepper diamonds in their collections, that kind of went viral, and more people started asking us about it. And that's kind of how the salt and pepper diamonds went really, really popular. They were not popular at all. About 10 years ago, if a supplier came to me with high quality diamonds, I really wouldn't have bought it because there was no place for it. There were no people that were interested in it. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. The social media is a big deal. It definitely has an effect on all of us, especially to us as jewelers, especially with our jewelry collections. Like if you are going to see, I think it was Angelina Jolie with her emerald earrings, her huge emerald earrings at some point on the red carpet. That had a huge effect on us, because more and more clients, if they couldn't afford emeralds that size, they wanted a smaller ones, but exactly the same design, or they wanted something similar. I'm not a big fan of making things exactly the same design, but making something similar, being inspired by these, I am totally a fan of it, because why not? We're all inspired by each other. We're all inspired by actresses. And I remember we made a few earrings that were similar to the Angelina Jolie emerald earrings, maybe smaller in size or a little bit of different stones. I remember we used to use malachite as one of them, and we used to use jade and peridot. But I mean, those are not emeralds, but not everyone can afford emeralds of that size, whereas peridot, for example, is a lot more affordable. Now, finding peridot of that size is also really, really hard and not inexpensive. But if you go with the smaller size stones, you could afford in peridot a lot easier than you would in emerald. So I would say that 50% of what's going on with jewelry, 50% is all marketing, actors, influencers. We see in movies, all those things have an effect on jewelry industry. We are very, very tied into it. Like if I were to make a collection today of completely new jewelry pieces, they might have taken off in about 5 years, because it takes time to photograph them, to make videos with them. But if I were to, gift them to some big shot, or if I were to, gift them to some kind of cool movie coming up and an actress of a higher end would wear them, I guarantee you in about a year, those earrings would be A, popular, and B, other clients would want to order them. So we are very, very much affected by social media, by what's going on in movies, by everything that's going on in the world. So I would say that jewelry industry is probably impacted by it the most, because we are the style. We are the inspiration of people. There's so many people that come and say, oh, I saw this actress wearing this, and I saw this actress wearing this, and I saw this actor wearing this. Could you please make something similar? We get that all the time. In fact, all the stores that offer custom work would get that all the time. That is very, very, very popular. And I don't see personally anything wrong with that, because I get inspired by them too. I get inspired by them in clothing. I get inspired by them in jewelry. I really don't see anything wrong with that. I know there are some that do feel that it's wrong. I'm not a big fan of copying. I understand that some people really want that model because they just want to feel like Angelina Jolie in that movie, or show off at the next party and say I have the same earrings. But I understand being inspired by these jewelry pieces and wanting similar styles. We often do similar styles, and I really don't see anything wrong with that, because that is you who's wearing it. That is your style, and you are the one that's being inspired by that. It's Margareta Skypen, and I hope you learned something new today. Happy holidays, and I'll see you in the next video.